The Signum bench and floor scales have been part of the Menabia Intech line for several years. When considering a Signum purchase, customers frequently consider only capacity and readability, comparing those specifications to balances and other light capacity scales. While lab balance weighing specifications may be similar to Signum, customers purchasing for industrial applications need to consider the suitability for rough environments and the requirement for full network support with PLC integration. The need for lab balance accuracy in OEM and process control environments is where Signum may be the best and only option. First, let's have a look at the available interfaces. There are many different data protocols and control processes required by our customers that may require a multitude of options as far as scale interfaces are concerned. Now, certainly the printer and network communication is quite common both with Signum and with many balances currently on the market. But once a customer asks for a long distance communication, for example 422 or 485, it's typically not available on laboratory type equipment. PLC control using Modbus TCP is possible with Signum, and Profibus, which is the interface of choice for Delta V integration, very common with pharmaceutical applications, is almost never available on laboratory balances. The old standby 4 to 20 milliamp and 0 to 10 volt DC analog outputs is fully available on Signum, as well as the process I/O interface for external and internal control of weighing functions. And finally, the ability to add a second A to D input to the Signum scale allows the operator to connect two scales and transmit the data from a single source, greatly simplifying the application and saving money at the same time. The Signum series operates with 1, 2, or even no display at all. Many automated applications and OEM requirements do not require a separate display because there's no user interface with the scale. So the data needs to be transmitted without the display, saving space and simplifying integration. The Signum line is the highest resolution scale for intrinsically safe Class 1, Division 1 applications with a 1 milligram readability possible. Also, 100% stainless steel construction with very high resolution up to 600,000 division accuracy is available in the Signum line. And finally, enhanced readability is possible when a stable environment exists. What we're about to see is that the published specifications of the Signum line are often understated. In most cases, it is possible to increase the resolution 2 and even 5 times greater than the published specification without any loss in accuracy. For our demonstration today, we're going to use a 3,000 gram by 0.01 gram unit, and we're going to change the resolution and double it to 5 milligrams. Now we placed a calibration weight on there in the published mode of 2 decimal places. But by punching the function key, we're now able to show 3 decimal places or 5 milligram readability, and we'll do a reproducibility test with the same 1,000 gram test weight. As you can see, the first test was correct, but we will verify that with a couple more. Again, no change in accuracy, even with the resolution doubled. And a third repeatability test also shows the exact same number with no variance. So what's obvious is that the Signum line has the capability to operate at higher resolution than what is specified in the published specifications. This has to be handled carefully. Oftentimes, a customer's environment will not support very high resolution, but if the environment is there and usable, Signum can do it. As mentioned earlier, it is possible to operate all key functions on the Signum scale without the keyboard attached. In the following demonstration, the Signum display has been removed, yet can still communicate with external devices, in this case a tablet computer. Each Signum keyboard function can be assigned a corresponding button on a touchscreen system, providing automation options and much easier scale-based integration. In this example, we have combined the tear and print functions by touching the spacebar, making this data analysis totally hands-free. Any key that is on the Signum display can be emulated on an external device. Now what we'll do first is we'll touch the spacebar in this demonstration, and that will send a zero and tear command and also set up an operation in which the data is transmitted automatically on stability. This makes the operation completely hands-free and eliminates the need for any kind of an external display. We're using a very simple statistical analysis program here. We're going to collect the weight data on 10 different rolls of paper. But as you can see, simply by loading the paper, the information, even without display, is automatically transmitted to the tablet computer. The last sample, number 10, will then give a summary, total weight, highest, lowest, standard deviation, and other statistical information. This is just an example of the type of program or concept that could be used with a Signum. It is easy to disconnect the display on the Signum and operate the scale totally from a remote device with any of the protocols discussed earlier. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, please give us a call. Future series, we will talk a little bit more about Signum capability and some of the things that may not be apparent in the published literature, but could be critical to satisfying your customer's requirement. This concludes this presentation on Signum scales.